Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
I need to order something for a Mason building with 8-inch block.
Okay.
And I was looking for 36 by 80.
Unusual size for block, but sure.
Is it?
Well,
unusual
I think
in
so.
What sense? The height or the width?
The height. What would be modular with so many courses of block? What dimension would be best?
I mean, the width I'm adjustable on. The height, I have an existing wall that's, the rough opening is like 82 inches or 82 and a quarter maybe.
Okay, so this is not new construction where you would either have like a course that would end up at 88 inch.
No, I don't really have that option. I mean, I probably could if I had to, but I'd rather not because I have a broken wall. So I have one side of the door kind of blown out from a truck backing into it.
Sure. I was concluding it was new installation where you would want the overall height of the frame to be even with a course of block. 6'8" doors never are in alignment with a course of block.
Oh, I understand.
So, yeah. So a 6'8" has an outside height of 82 inch on the frame, and if that works for you, then yep, stock 6'8" would be what you'd want. Otherwise, you might want to consider a frame that is a little bit smaller. If your opening is at 82 or tight on 82, you might find it a challenge to get something that's 82 inch in that space. Right. The rule of thumb is a 1/4 inch margin on each of the two vertical sides, and then at the header, where you might say, no, it was 82 heavy. I'll be able to get it in. That kind of scenario.
Yeah. Well, I believe I have 82 and a quarter, but. I could also slide it from the one side, too, if I had to.
Okay. All I'm saying is I can sell it to you that's 82, or if you feel that's going to be too tight, I can make it any size you want.
Now, is that a butt frame, or is that a frame that swallows the block?
Is that a butt frame or a frame that's what?
That swallows the block?
Welded to block?
Wraps the block?
Oh, well, okay. So you've got 8-inch block, and you can either butt to the end of the wall or you can wrap over the end of the wall. It can be done either way, but the approach of installation and the size of the door and frame that you ultimately will order is dictated by that decision.
Well, I have an opening of 82 inches. Can I slide in a frame that wraps the block?
You can wrap the block if you want. They
have the option of sliding it in from the end. Like, in other words, from say, one side of the door, just sliding the frame right on in, and then building the one side wall. Because I have a header in place, and I have one side of the door in place. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So what am I looking at price-wise for something like that? No window, no closer, just threshold and the weather stripping and all that.
All right, let's back up. We're not at price time yet. Okay. If you're going to wrap the wall, if you were to use a 3068 door, the OD of the frame is going to be 40 by 82. You're really not going to wrap the wall at all if you use a frame that has a throat opening compatible with the wall thickness. The only way to wrap the wall is where you order something that's basically larger in the width and height than the rough opening, so that it will truly wrap the wall like you would have in a drywall partition application, studs and drywall. So it actually wraps over the end of the wall. So you're either going to wrap the wall and then use a custom-sized door and frame, which will noticeably impact the cost by hundreds of dollars, or you'll butt to the end of the wall, which is the least expensive way to go.
Well, going to have to think on that. I'll get back to you, okay?
Yeah. I mean, wrapping the wall is for the purpose of, you might have some damage on the outside corners of the block, or you might want to protect that. Let's say if it's a condo building and the cross corridor where the dumpsters go in, they bash the, 5 3/4 jams on, 8-inch block. That brittle block gets, busted out over time.
I just felt it was more secure that way too. Rather than having just a half a dozen anchors holding it in,
Yeah, the issue is, regardless of wrap or butt, you still are anchoring down to an inferior material. If you're going to wrap the frame, you can put more screws and anchors, but you're still going down to something that's porous and brittle. Now, I've installed lots of frames, and there's lots of different ways to do this to make it really super strong. You use the tools that you're most, proficient at. I've done a lot of welding, and I would do things like get straps mounted down to the block, either on the face or on the edge of the material, and then I would weld to that. I would take large C plates and I would cap those over the end of the block and let the ears run long and get that frame put in over place, because I could through bolt through the 8-inch block, those straps, and then I could weld right down to it. Your imagination is all that limits it. So
right. Well, I'm a welder by trade, so those options are open to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? And some steel and your and your welder, and boom. Now, the best way is you have a mason come, or you do it yourself, and you tooth out the block. You knock out 3 or 4 of those on either side. Mm-hmm. You get a welded frame with corrugated T-anchors. You drill a hole. If you have access to the top of the jam, great. If you don't, you drill a hole in the top of the jam, and think of a baker's bag, what the baker uses to decorate the top of the birthday cake. Imagine that much bigger. It's called a grout bag. You're going to pump grout into that hole after you get those courses. After you get that first T-anchor at the bottom put in place, you're going to cut some block, fit it back in there, grout it, cement it real nice. That's the way to go. But if you're going to hire a guy to do that, I would think you're going to be at $500 labor alone.
I know,
the bottom line, however, is that's the best way to do it. But if you can come up with an ingenious way to steel and weld down to an insufficient material, because what I've done in the past is I've used angle. I've got the frame wrapped up over the block. I've then taken, half by half angle or 1 by half angle, applied that to the face of the block and screwed it down that way, or through bolted it with 1/4-inch rod. And then I would butt my frame up to the back of it and weld right to that. You could also take, when that opening is open, you could, in 3 or 4 spots on either side, pump those voids with cement, and then run a lead anchor into it, and then that frame will have a countersink, and then you use a 3/8 machine bolt and bolt right into that. Yeah. I've done that with great success. The problem is, if you want it solid, if it's your building and you want it solid, you're right. What you said initially, it's not the best way to go. So now, regarding the cost, if you use a stock sort of door and frame, a door and a frame, lock and hinges, you're probably at $1,000 delivered. If you go with anything custom, wrap is going to make the door size special, because now we're not dealing with 40 by 82 for the outside of a frame. We're dealing with 40 by 82 for the rough opening size, because when you cap over the end of the wall, the throat of the frame now comes into play, not the outside of the frame. So it makes the door a little bit wider and a little bit taller if you want to wrap it properly. That's going to impact the cost by a factor of 50%. So it goes up noticeably. The downside, though, is which is the least labor cost. So that's to consider. Anyway, I think I blabbed on far too long.
Well, things to think about for sure.
Yeah. Then what we can make for you.
Let me chew on that and have a better look at that opening, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, one low-hanging fruit would be if we welded the floor anchor on the bottom of each jam in reverse so it hung out into the opening. You could shoot it down to the floor there, and then if you did some work up at the top of the header and machine bolted or got that anchored into something that you could create up there, that might be a little easier way to get it secure, and then you could put a threshold over that reversed floor anchor. Anyway, my name is Richard. If anything comes to pass, I'll be here.
I appreciate it, Richard. Thanks.
Sure thing, sir. Bye-bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.